At the time, I'm not wearing my
All right,
body armor,
welcome back to
so
a
my
brand new
body
video.
cam isn't on
Let me
this
pause
scene.
this of the target individual program, target individual experience. I pause it at 23:10. Again, the number 10. Want to go back slightly at 23 minutes. That's 22:05. Oh, okay. I just thought, okay. Why does see what I'm saying? They keep look. I paused it at 3 minutes, at the 23 minutes, and then goes to 3:02. No, thank you. That's not what I wanted. Okay, let's go. Let's do this. Let's go here. That's fine.
And a caster's head. The
So
tech
the reason why I'm playing this video, I'm watching it on the. I'm watching this video, and uh, this is a lawyer. He has a YouTube channel named the channel is named Clearly Established, and he does these reviews on police brutality, police violation of people's rights, and so forth. And the video is called "Police Almost Shoot on Our Man, Lost Qualified Immunity, Then Got Promoted." Right, lawyer breakdown. So words that he said. There's another video I was watching prior to this about crooked judges, and there was a woman that was narrating it, and she was talking about attorney fees, and they start prior to the department start using their sirens. So certain things they will start using their sirens, right? Like getting an attorney, they start using their sirens and so forth and so forth. Getting a lawyer to see about suing them, they start using their sirens and such, right? In order to try to intimidate and manipulate my thoughts, my emotions, and these are clearly psychological coercive threats. Okay, so in this video, he's going to mention about what was it again? Let me play it. Maybe
Here
come back to me
Wallen,
because I
May
forgot
10,
already.
2022. The attorney asked why he didn't activate his body camera initially. You didn't turn on your body camera until Corey and Thornton arrived? Yes. Why not? At the time, I'm not wearing my body armor,
As the word time
so
is
my
said,
body cam
call
isn't
home.
on. The scene when I drove up wasn't secure enough for me to do administrative work. Not dangerous enough for body armor, but dangerous enough for an AR-15 to the forehead? Make that make sense. The attorney presses him on what justified calling backup. Were there any reported burglaries at Houseman Village that night?
Yeah,
I
burglaries.
can't say with
Right when he
certainty.
said burglaries. So one of the things that they're trying to do also is get you robbed. They'll rob you to take your wallet, your identification, so they can try to use it to plant it at a crime scene and such and such. This happened to me. This happened to other TIs as well. Also, the constant threat of robbing you. Like for example, like my files that I also store on backup drives, in terms of trying to, uh, you know, rob me to take those drives so that I don't have any evidence, so that when they try to make a move to try to get rid of me or remove me from the society, use it either through institutionalization or through, trying to set me up and frame me, that I have documented decades of the harassment, of the psychological coercive persuasion programming, as well as the program as my testimony of being a victim of non-consensual human experimentation, illegal microchipping by the New York Predatory Department, as well as the FBI and the CIA, because ultimately these are the people who are engaging in these programs, non-consensual human experimentation program, these illegal programs, because they're in a position of authority, and they are the so-called law, right? Law enforcement or security, right? Forces or security agencies. So this is the constant threat that I go through. It's the reason why, as TIs, particularly for those of us who talk about what's being done, who give you the information, we're not talking about this spiritual warfare, religious bullshit. We're not talking about reptilians and all this stuff, right? If you go and look at those people who talk about these things, look at the amount of viewership and subscription they have on their YouTube channel. And then you look at the TIs who are exposing what's being done in a credible way, using legal terms, using terms that they will also use in a court of law to give credence or to give a a lawful explanation to what is going on. When I talk about coercive persuasion programming, you'll never hear me talk about fighting demons and all this stuff and blah blah blah. When I talk about silent sound spectrum technology being used to manipulate people's mind, that's documented. That has been researched. You can read Dr. Richard Miller, who was one of the pioneer in developing silent sound spread spectrum, right? Technology, and if and what they've done over the past couple of years is that if you search out silent sound spread spectrum, it would no longer come up with the explanation of radio wave and microwave frequency being used to induce thoughts into people's mind using their own inner speech. Okay, so what you'll find now is like and this is what, again, to hide their crimes, they will always create companies like it's a company called Silent Sound, which again, this is an audio company because of course radio wave, right? Audio, right? But they mask it, they hide it, and then they try to remove information that was available on the internet, let's say in 2010 and prior, about these things, right? That you can no longer find them, right? Also, when I talk about BCI, when I talk about these things, you'll give you information that they have been working on this stuff since the 1970s, 1960s. Microwave radio frequency, the Russian embassy, the Americans being microwave in the American embassy in Russia, as well as the documents. I have those documents of the psychological negative effect of that, the biological negative effect of that, and so forth. Right? When they talk about your cell phone being safe from because of the radio wave microwave frequency, the radio wave frequency, I should say, I have documentation of the U.S. government, uh, the, the 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 Navy, the Air Force studying the biological effect on radio wave and microwave frequency on the human body. I do my research. Okay, this is why any YouTuber that speaks the truth, that does their research, that comes out and tell us the truth, you'll see they shadow banned. I'm shadow banned. All right, I've been on YouTube. I have over 7,000 videos on YouTube. Okay, right? It's over 7,000. And look at how many subscribers I have. I have been, so as long as I've been on YouTube, I've only amassed about what 1,600 subscribers. When I go to other TI channels who talk about the religious aspect of their targeting or what have you, or what they believe is demons and all this stuff, they have at least 25,000 subscribers. And like I said, I and others like me who are given the information, we're not just saying this, speaking about our experience and not giving you the information that you need to know, right? They shadow ban us. That's, like I said, that's why I know my purpose is greater than theirs. That's why I know that when they attack us in such a manner, the so-called Christians, these cults, these so-called good Christians, I remember what I always say, there is no such thing as a good Christian, right? They believe that they are nice people, but they're not good people, all right? Because if they were good people, they will be able to look at their reality in terms of their belief system, particularly the Negropeans, particularly who I call the Dans, the dumbass Negropeans, and you will see, right, that if they look at the reality for what it is, take out the God aspect of it, but just look at the reality. Go and do your research and see how black people in this country and in the West, that they have been a systematic effort to continue to destabilize, to continue to put us, keep us at the bottom of the economic ladder and the social ladder. And every time, particularly in America, that black people as a group amass wealth as a group, they will always engage in predatory behavior to rob black people of that wealth. Go look at what they said, what happened during the 2008 financial crash. Go look at what they said about Matter of fact, Google and Google this, right? How the 2008 financial crash affect black wealth in America. That's all you got to do. Google it and you'll see what I'm talking about. You see what I'm talking about. Every time black people amass as a group amass wealth, white people, there's always a white backlash. When black people build towns in this country that were prospering, what do? Burn them down based on lies, manipulation, deception. Right here, the New York Department using the sirens. Yes, you see, they want you to believe that we who speak the truth, that we're divided. We have already been divided. They divided us, right? So they, white people walk with black people talk about, oh, let's unite. But why we don't ask them? All this uniting you talk about, why don't you get rid of the system of white supremacy? Why don't you get rid of the system of white supremacy? Why is it that black schools, public schools in black communities or communities where black people live, why is it that they're always severely underfunded? Okay? Hold on. Okay? So like I said, ask them that. They're marching with, George Floyd, and we appreciate that. But that's symbolic. Because if the system isn't changing, the amount of people, white people who have marched during the Black Lives Matter protests and so forth, right? Why is it that they don't, and particularly the Democrats, why is it that they don't change the system of white supremacy? Why is it that they don't pass an anti-black crime hate bill when black people, year after year, are the ones who experience the highest rate of racial violence in America, right? But they'll pass an anti-Asian bill. They'll pass an anti-Semitic bill. Again, anti-Semitic to a group of people who are not even Semitic people, right? And again, that's not me saying this. That's the truth. That is the absolute truth. But I want you to understand how the liars, the manipulators have positioned themselves in power and they continue to lie and manipulate us. And we continue to fall for it. When those of us who are speaking the truth, just like the Christians will claim Jesus came to speak the truth, right? But do they believe Jesus? No, they don't. They don't believe Jesus. Everything that Jesus said, they ignore. Everything that Paul says, they do. When Paul says, is it wrong that I manipulated you, that I lied to you, that I trick you, that I deceive you? Just like the devils, as long as it brings you to Christ. So if Satan is the devil and he tricks you and manipulates you in order to bring you to him, and you're doing the same thing to bring another person or people to Christ, what does that make you? It makes you the devil. It makes you the deceiver, the liar, the manipulator. See, y'all can't have it both ways, right? Y'all can't talk about, oh, the devil is a deceiver, a liar, manipulator. But when it comes to your Jesus, you can lie, you can deceive, and you can manipulate. You can't have it both ways. All right? So anyhow, so back to what I was saying before I get, something like, you got to excuse me. It's the target and what they've done to me. I'll go off on these tariffs and these other rants. But anyhow, so again, the threat of being robbed and burglarized and stuff like that, because again, like I said, whenever they trying to make whatever move they're trying to make to get rid of us as TIs, they will seek to steal any evidence that we've collected, steal any sort of information that we've collected, block our channel, delete our channel, so that no one can go and look up and see. But guess what? That will never happen. All right? I'm too well documented. Other TIs, they're too well documented. They may continue to shadow ban us, but more and more people are waking up. More and more people are waking up to what it is that they're doing. Okay? All right. Talk to you guys in the next video.